Good morning. It is cold, but thankfully not very windy. And I have been under the weather for the last several days. It's like I have some kind of cold or allergic reaction to something. I'm snotty and my throat is all shitty. And I don't know why. I don't have any other sickness symptoms, but I've been like this for like 5 days now. I guess this is, around here they refer to this as having the croup. And I feel like I have it, whatever that is. But I've been sleeping okay. I just not breathing well and my throat's been all scratchy and crappy. So I don't know if it's just seasonal or what. But forgive my voice this morning. It's not the best. I hope you guys all had a good weekend. I had a pretty chill weekend. I didn't follow news or do anything. I just sort of detached and just spent time with friends and loved ones, and I haven't really paid attention to anything going on. I did listen. The only thing that I did since last Wednesday, news-wise, was I did listen to the Pony Express radio on Thursday evening, which was fun. Well, Friday morning technically, because I didn't listen to it live. But that's been my only connection to the old internet sphere since last week. But anyway, excuse me. This week, the show goes on. It will be Discordant Dragons and either Gulag Cafe or Empire of Lies Thursday, I assume. Chris had to take a short trip, but the place that he traveled to, I'm pretty sure he can work from. So we should be able to do our usual Thursday night stream this week. And I'm recording this Monday morning, but it won't go up until Tuesday morning. And I do plan on having a very nice Discordant Dragons tonight. So hopefully by the time this video is up tomorrow, that stream will have gone well. So speaking of well, I guess I'm doing okay as far as all the things that trouble me. I'm doing my best to let go and move on from the things that I can't do anything about in my personal life. And just, trying to focus on the things that are good and just not dwelling on the fact that I can't, activate or motivate people to be like me or to care like me. I just have to deal with that, and that's what I've been working on. I'm still trying to see my old friends that play tabletop games down at the big gaming store not too far from here. They, like I said, they play Age of Sigmar, and I spent a few $100 last year getting some minis to play with them. And I haven't played in over a month because I don't like the game, but I still go by and see them a little bit. I stopped by the shop yesterday morning for like 30 or 40 minutes just to see everybody. It's weird trying to engage with people who have just sat out of the entire culture war. They just sit it out. It's like talking to aliens. It's like talking to people who are in a dream or something. It's weird, and I don't really like it. It's kind of nice, I guess, to be around people who remember me from when I was in high school 30 years ago, and who I've seen on and off my whole life playing games and hanging out at the gaming store, like when I was really young, back when I was like, 16 to 22. And, they have lives and families and kids and stuff, and they bring, and, some of their kids are grown, so they play games at the store too. And it's nice to be around people that I'm connected to, but man, with all the fucking truth-seeking and tinfoil shit that I've dug into and how jacked into the culture where I've been for like 10 years, it really is like I'm on another planet when I hang out with people who have just sat away, have just never been involved in any of that. It's really weird. And it just sort of makes me feel like I don't even know them anymore and they can't possibly know me. And so it's just, I was thinking about it yesterday, and the word that came to my mind for how I feel about all of this malaise and loss of any connection to like gaming and gaming friends and regular people that I used to kind of be friends with, before 10 years ago. The word is vestigial. The word vestigial, if you're not familiar with it, is the name of an anatomical part that is no longer useful in an organism. Maybe like the little front arms of a T-Rex, or the appendix in your intestines, that kind of thing. Vestigial is a word that means it's there, but it's part of the creature's DNA, but it hasn't been used in so long, it's sort of atrophied, but it's not out of the gene code yet, so it's still there, but it doesn't really serve a purpose or a function. It's just an old, outdated body part that doesn't really do anything. Like, the creature still knows what it is. It still gets blood. It still is a living part of that creature, but it doesn't really serve a function, and the creature can't really use it for anything. I feel like that is how my connection to video games and tabletop games and shit like that, I feel like that part of me has become vestigial. I know that it used to give me fulfillment. I know how it used to please me, and I know why it used to please me. Thinking about fantasy stuff or sci-fi stuff and wanting to write down rules for it and read all of the dozens and dozens of books and tabletop manuals and things that I have for this kind of gaming, that stuff used to give me such immense joy and fulfillment. And I remember that, but it's like I'm remembering it through a different version of me. A version of me that can't possibly exist. And that vestigial organ, that vestigial limb, I can't flex it. I can't move it. It's there, but it doesn't do anything. I remember it. I remember rules and fantasy settings and sci-fi stuff that I've read. I remember what it was like painting the hundreds of miniatures and tanks and mechs and stuff that I painted when I was young. I remember all that, but it gives me nothing. I look at all the dozens and dozens of box sets and books and games and things that I collected over the last 40 years, ever since I was a kid. I touch the books, I pick them up, I smell them, I look at the things in them, and I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything. I know these things used to be my only source of joy and escape, because I'm not like a druggie, I'm not a boozer or like a, I don't know, I don't find my escapism through those things. I always found my escapism through creative storytelling and gaming and reading gaming books and occasionally novels. I'm never big into novels, but I used to read some, but I don't anymore. And when I touch these things and I smell these things and I open these boxes and I look at stuff, there's nothing. Nothing. I remember there used to be something. And I try to flex that organ, but nothing happens. I try to remember through that vestigial part of my mind. And the memories are kind of there, but they don't mean anything. There's nothing for them to interlock with in my brain anymore. It's all been replaced and distorted by Go Free Method stuff and all the stuff that I've read and learned about communist and Marxist subversion, and then capitalist/American subversion and lies. This faux liberal conceit has been baked into everything. I think about spin, angle, focus groups, predatory marketing, and I see that in every paragraph, in every picture. That's who I am now, and I fucking hate it. Vestigial is the word. The thing that used to be the only source of my escape and joy is atrophied, disconnected, and completely impotent. And I don't know what it is I will have, if anything, the rest of my life that will give me what I've lost. I'm not into sex and romance. Never have been. I can do those things, but they don't fulfill me or please me. I don't seek them. I don't crave them. Same thing when it comes to child rearing. Never once even occurred to me that I could, let alone should, be a parent. So that's not extant in me either. I get a mild modicum of fulfillment out of taking care of my loved ones, but they don't need me. They take care of themselves. They don't need me. They're mostly healthy, even though some of them have some minor health problems. And I have a huge family. So does my husband. We have tons of, nieces and nephews and aunts and uncles and brothers and sisters and things all over the place. I'm not really needed. And even if I was, family stuff has never really been very personally fulfilling to me, because I probably had really shitty examples of personal family with my mother and my father. Because they split up when I was like 4 or 5 years old. They were angry and violent and hated each other and yelled and threw things and shit. And even though I knew they loved me, it was still miserable. And I don't think either of them were that great of examples of parents even after they split up. It was a lot easier on me after they did. But the thing that I learned was, well, it's only me. I don't have anybody else to take care of me. I'm going to have to do it myself. And that's one of the things that made me such an isolationist. It's one of the reasons I dove deeply into all the role-playing books and novels and stuff. It's one of the reasons I loved reading the Bible when I was younger, because it was always around. And somewhere along the way, in the last 10 years, that part of me became vestigial. And I don't know if it will ever flex or grow or think or feel again. That organ in me might permanently be vestigial. And that really bothers me, because that means, what if I live another 40 or 50 years? Am I ever going to know real joy or fulfillment from anything again? Am I ever going to have what I used to have? Or is this what it is being red-pilled? Like truly red-pilled? Where you just can't not see lies and subversion and grift and narrative in literally everything. And I know people make a joke about seeing the Matrix and all that, but that is what it feels like when I try to enjoy anything. All I see is the war. All I see is the narrative and lies and spin and focus groups and marketing choices and trying to appeal to the mass consumer or shape the mass man. All I see is that shit. I just don't know if I'll ever be able to really have joy or fulfillment ever again from anything. And I know that that's ugly, because people I know are supposed to gain their fulfillment from healthy relationships. Maybe I don't have any. My husband, best friend guy, he's wonderful to me. We have parents who do love us and care for us. But for whatever reason, that's not enough for me. Now, I'm not saying other people are the problem. I'm keenly aware that I'm the problem. But the one thing that I always had to help me not check out doesn't work anymore. And it hasn't worked for at least 5 or 6 years. And I just don't know what it's going to be like being older and weaker and getting uglier and weaker and less relevant and more confused by the technologies I didn't grow up with, because I see people who are old now. What am I going to be like when I'm 70 or 80? I don't know. I don't see how I could possibly make it that long. I just wonder. What I can do, what I should do. I try everything. I try changing my diet. I try exercise. I try going on hikes, talking to people, going to different meetups of friends. Religious people in my life tell me I need church. Well, church doesn't work for me, because I go to church, and I know it sounds arrogant, but it's always full of simpletons every time that I've gone. And I require a certain intellectual level of interface before I can enjoy something. And I've never found a high IQ church group. If I could, maybe I would join. But every church I've ever been to, every church group, even little, just a handful of friends, like with my mother, it's just not engaging for me at all. And like I said, you guys know I don't truly believe in magic or afterlife or ghosts and stuff like that. So it's all just performative to try to make me feel like I have a connection to people. That's why I do the church stuff. It's because I don't want to feel alone. I want to be a part of what goes on around here and feel like I'm connected. But when it comes to like religious belief and faith and stuff, I'm completely dead when it comes to that on the inside. I don't have that. So the church and God fulfillment stuff doesn't work on me. I've tried for my whole life. Just never happened. So I don't know what will happen with me, but if you are the praying type, pray for me that I will find some way to have fulfillment and for maybe that vestigial organ of mine to have life breathed back into it one day. Because nothing else really helps me keep going. Oop, I noticed that the frame rate tanked, and I don't know why. It is very bitingly cold right now. So maybe it's the phone being too cold to function. I don't know. But I suppose we should wrap it up now then, since the frame rate is tanking. Maybe that means that the phone is having problems. I don't know. Regardless, I'll wrap it up here. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you Thursday evening with Chris for more fun. God bless everyone. Have a great week.